Welcome to ECN Trade Daily Video. Before we begin, it should be noted that any advice is of a general nature only and that your personal circumstances have not been taken into consideration. Hello everyone, my name is Rob Clayton and thank you very much for joining me. To start with the morning webinar, the Australian dollar posts a fresh low last seen back in May 2016 of 71.91, however rebounds quite modestly. In light of the current pattern, we could see further upward momentum in the short term towards 72.45 with a cap still holding firmly at 73 figure 20. In light of the current weakness and taking out the support of 72.20, I still expect to see eventually the challenge of 71.40.80 and reassess from there, as a move beneath 71.40 would give further exposure to the downside and give an objective of 69.5 cents, and even into January of seeing a low of 68 cents, which was recorded at the beginning of this year in January. The dollar index overnight, or the US dollar index overnight, recently posted a fresh high of this week of 103.61 and backs away unchanged this morning from previous close of 103.06 in the index. This in turn suggests that the euro still struggling to take out the resistance around 104.65 to 105.2025, and while capped still puts further emphasis to the downside, and I do expect to see the market take out that 2003 January low of 103.45.50 and head towards an objective of 102.40 102.40.70. Now a break beneath there will give further exposure for a move for euro down towards parity, so keep that in mind if we see a break of 102.40. As I mentioned, the top side we should likely see a cap around 104.65 to 105.20. Dollar yen not pretty much challenging either side of the range, as it's locked in a 117.20 to 117.95 boundaries. Although we're still overbought, I still expect to see this market retreat towards the support holding at 116.60 and maybe down towards 115.25.40 before any return of bullish price action and see a move eventually claim the 119 to 120 target. If we fail to get any kind of retreat and instead we see a break today of 118.30, this would give further exposure, an immediate target of 119.10.15 and then on towards 120 as the objective as mentioned before. Sterling is weaker and as you can see now challenging this level of 122.80. In light of the current pattern, I still expect to see this market fall lower and maybe eventually to see where the flash crash was around that 118-120 region. However, a break of 122.80 does give scope towards 122.10 and as I mentioned before down towards 120.60. Resistance on the day locks in around 123.30 to 123.80. Gold pretty much trading sideways and still capped underneath that 11.44 resistance. In light of the current pattern, I do expect to see further weakness into today and could see a move through 11.20 and take on the support 11.10 with the objective still holding beneath at 1,050. On the top side, immediate resistance comes in at 1,138 and as I mentioned before capped at 1,144. And to wrap up with oil still retreating away from that 53.60.70 level, I still expect to see further weakness to the downside. And the longer we remain underneath 53.60.70, then potentially we should claim the lows around 49.60 and reassess from there. That concludes my daily video. Thank you very much for joining me. So I hope you have a great day ahead. And from myself and all the staff from ECN Trade, wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.